Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
If you are trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
Attention all business owners and creative minds. Do you need a unique and personalized touch for your products? Look no further than Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs. We offer custom laser engraving services for a variety of products, including promotional items and corporate or personal gifts. With state-of-the-art equipment and a team of skilled designers, we can engrave intricate designs on virtually any material. Whether it's a special message, a company logo, or a custom design, Romika Laser Engraving will help you make your mark. And the best part, our prices are affordable and our turnaround time is quick.
I couldn't be happier with the work Romika Laser Engraving did for me. The engraving on my product was precise and exactly what I wanted.
So don't wait any longer to add a personal touch to your products. Call Romika Laser Engraving and Custom Designs today at 817-400-4040 or visit our website at romikadesigns.com. We look forward to helping you make your mark.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets.
855-325-1820. 855-325-1820. That's 855-325-1820.
You're listening
I'll
to JoJo
tell everybody
Community
that you're coming on. Here we're coming on now. I gotta go. Come on. Well, good morning, everybody. There's Mez. So, guys, Dana got called into a meeting and she's working, so she's going to be joining us momentarily. Morning, Mez.
Hello.
Hey. So, guys, welcome to NTX Radio. Welcome to the Jobfather. There's something that I want to tell you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about the life of a recruiter. So, Dana and I and Mez are going to be talking about things that we observe and what we have to deal with doing what we do. Dana and I, full-time recruiters. Mez is a recruiter in training because she's always around us. But I want to do a shameless plug for NTX Radio. Y'all, I want to see what I mean? There's Dana right there.
And now I've got to fix my background while we're chit-chatting.
Well, you fix your background while we're chit-chatting.
Yeah.
I'm telling everybody about NTX Radio. Guys, a lot of you guys might have had an idea for something you want to do. Last week, when we had Tanya with us, we were talking about I don't want to work in corporate America anymore. I got my own thing I want to do. Well,
Yeah.
as you're building your own company, you might want to have your own radio show. You might want to do a podcast. One time off, two times off. Marketing is what I'm thinking about. And
Mhm.
guys,
Mm.
if if you if you have those kind of needs, feel free to call me, talk to me. You guys know how to get me. I'm on LinkedIn. Foster Williams. There's my name right up there. Good. I'm glad because I would have forgotten what my name was, man.
Because nobody knows who Foster is.
Nobody forget. I'm glad. I'm glad the police
Nah,
don't
never
know who
heard of
I
him.
am. But yeah, I've got my UT colors on today. I'm representing you, even though I didn't go to University of Texas. It's been one of my favorite schools forever. So anyway, guys, Tiffany is the owner. Tiffany Hurd is the owner of NTX Radio. And I would love to connect you guys with Tiffany. If you have an idea, I'd love to talk with you guys about that. We are here, this whole show is here to give ideas to help you understand what you're getting yourself into, especially when you're in the job search and all that stuff, because it's constantly changing. You know, our job search, and I think Dana would probably agree with me, it's not even the same as it was 3 years ago. It seems to be just changing. You
No,
know,
it's
it was
not.
It
changing
Not at
before
all.
isn't.
COVID.
Hmm.
It was changing before COVID. Then we had COVID, and y'all know what COVID did. And then here we are changing again.
Mhm.
We got all this technology. We're going to talk about it today. We've got all this technology that is absolutely wonderful, but we've got to keep the human element going, guys, because as long as a person hires you, then you want to make that kind of connection. There's a two-step
Agreed.
process that works best when you're in job search. Of course, you're going to see job posting. You're going to get excited about that. If you do, if you don't get excited about it, honestly, guys, you probably don't want to waste
And
your
don't
time
apply.
applying. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Dana and I have been doing this for years. We're not going to tell you how many. So we're going to share some things today, hopefully, that will give you guys some
Some
insights on
tips
our
and
world.
treasures.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I'm also going to take this
Yeah,
lovely
absolutely.
opportunity to ask the hard questions as well
Good.
to these lovely recruiters. Hard
Good.
questions.
If I don't know, I'll ask Dana. I'll defer to Dana.
Throwing her right under the bus.
Okay, I'm supposed to have I'm throwing her right under there. I'm supposed to have a dad joke, I think, aren't I?
Absolutely. And
Dana, you
Thanksgiving's
got a joke
coming
this
up.
morning?
Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear. Okay.
Oh, you're gonna throw a background at us, huh?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
can
we
hear
can hear
you
you.
loud and
Can you
clear.
hear me?
Mhm.
Uh huh. You can't hear us, can you? Uh oh,
It's all
there's a
right, Dana.
sigh.
Yep.
Can y'all hear me okay?
Well,
So, guys, I'm gonna try to
while
remember this dad joke, right? Or no, never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Maz. I cut you off.
oh, I was just gonna say, go ahead with the dad joke and Dana get her technical stuff all prettied up, and I'm preparing my questions to both of you. Hopefully, if you guys would be so gracious, I will start you out with
Oh,
a very intriguing question.
good. We will we're excited to hear it. Hopefully we answer it the right way. Sometimes, we recruiters don't always have the answers you guys are looking for. We'll talk about that too. So,
Can y'all
okay,
hear me
sad
now?
news, guys. Here's dad. Yes, ma'am, we got you.
Uh huh.
Can you
Okay,
hear
good.
us?
I can. Yeah, I could hear y'all the whole time. I was talking and I was like, "Oh, I guess you can't hear me."
Boy, I tell you, we're dealing with technology, aren't we? This is another reason I'm so tactile. So, okay, dad joke, guys. Score me. I see Sharon. Sharon Adams is with us. So, Sharon, you might have to give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. You are the referee today. So the sad news is I broke up with my girlfriend Lorraine because I was seeing another girl from Texas, and her name was Claire Lee. You know,
Mhm.
but the good news is that I can see Claire Lee now because Lorraine is gone.
Oh, that was good. I actually like that one. That was good.
Oh, for goodness
I like
sakes.
that one,
And
Foster. I do. Winner right there.
oh my goodness. Sharon, how did I do? Anyway, we are here, guys. Today, we do not have a guest. Dana and I wanted to go through our world. I think it'll help you guys to know what recruiters actually have to go through
Mhm.
and some of the background stuff. The number one thing, guys, with us having all this technology, it's wonderful, but it's changing the way things are done. Now, we have to keep our human element going, continue to get out and network and build those relationships so that you may be able to connect with someone inside the company that you're excited about. You may have seen the job and you're just like, hey, that's the job for me.
Mhm.
And here's what's going on right
And
now.
this is
Go ahead, Maz.
I was just gonna say this is an opportunity for our guests and our audience to chime in with their questions to you guys, because a lot of
Absolutely.
times we are focused so much on the subject matter expert, and then we go right to the job seeker. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, put it in the chat and let us know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
absolutely. It's a
will have
great
questions.
opportunity.
So, guys, there are unfortunately, because of all the goings on, the shenanigans, and all that stuff going on in the United States, there are a lot of people on the job market right now. So, when a job is posted, Dana and I and other recruiters might see way more resumes than we have the time to get to. Because, hey, Dana might, and I'm not saying her company does this to her, but Dana's been in a position before that she's had too many requisitions to go through, and it's
Yeah,
just not enough time in a day to go through all that stuff.
it's the truth.
Yeah,
It's day in, day out of a talent acquisition leader and talent acquisition team
yeah.
member.
And if Mez
Yeah.
calls Foster and says, "Hey, Foster, there's a friend of mine that I think might be a good fit for this position that you have, and I want to share that person with me." I'm gonna go through all. I'm not going. I don't want to have to go through 300 resumes. But I will go and I will extract that person from the ATM, guys. We got to have that ATS system,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about that too a little bit later on. But that is how you will be seen. So you apply so that you will be in the system. But then if you can find somebody that can say, "Hey Dana, I want you to go check out this Mez lady," then she will go find Mez and she'll check her out.
Yeah.
Other than that, she may have never ever gotten to Mez because of so many resumes. I heard
True,
somebody
true.
breathe. I thought somebody else was about to talk.
No, that was me. And I want to start by encouraging everybody that even though there have been a lot of shifts, especially in the government space for job
Yeah.
seekers, and it has trickled down into the civilian space, we are still seeing people get jobs, take jobs every day. So I
Yep.
do want to make sure
Mhm.
everyone feels encouraged because we are seeing people get jobs. It is still very busy. I can tell you that we are very blessed. The team and I are very busy. We are not by any means slow as far as a
Mhm.
team and a department is concerned.
Mm,
And most people I'm talking to are pretty busy right now. So it's a very unique, Foster, I dare I say, a very unique time because we are seeing a lot of people that are we are seeing layoffs, but we're also seeing people get jobs. I have to say, and I'm sure Foster and Mez can agree, in all of the years I've been in talent acquisition, I've never quite seen anything like this.
I know.
But what
Mhm.
can we do to set ourselves up for success, right? What can we do as job seekers to set ourselves up for success as we go through the job search? And it is a full-time job looking for a job. And I
Our
think
job.
it is something that first and foremost you've got to get yourself in a good place mentally and emotionally to understand that you are going to have to invest time in this. You are going to
Mm.
have to utilize your network. And Foster
Absolutely.
every week is talking about relationships. We all do.
There
Okay.
it is.
Hmm.
Yes. And we can get real close, but we are wanting to say step one, foster those relationships. Haha, see what I did there?
I kind of like
Foster
that.
those
Ah.
relationships, right?
Christina
Play on
Matthews, you
words.
hear that?
That's going to be important. Who you know can positively impact your job search. So start reaching out to your network, start leveraging your network, start getting in touch with your network, start making calls. And the second thing, which is where I think we could start spending a little time in Foster, I want to make sure in Mez that uh, I'm hitting the nail on the head as far as some of the topics we thought would be
Uh-huh.
really important
Uh-huh.
for today is having a good foundational resume and then customizing it
Customize. Yeah.
maybe just a little bit for the different types of jobs.
Absolutely.
Foster, we've had a lot of people, and Mez, you've seen this too, that don't know what they want to do.
Yeah.
And they
I
have a
preach that
little bit
every
of
week.
everything on their resume.
Boy, that
Every
really
Yeah.
week
helped
I
me,
preach
Amy.
this.
Yes. And so I'm going to let Mez jump in here, but you've got to have a target idea of what types of roles you are most qualified for.
Hmm.
What and hopefully with, combined with what you enjoy doing, and you need to make sure your resume reflects what you were most qualified for, because what you were most qualified for aligned with your connections is what's going to open a door probably the quickest for you. But Mez, I'd like to, and Foster, I'd like to ask y'all to share a little bit about what you've seen as far as targeting your job search, targeting your resume, and making sure that even if you want to consider 3 areas, you need to make sure you have a resume targeted for each, you're organized in each, and you're not using one generic resume.
Absolutely.
Before I turn it over to Mez and Foster, I'm going to say this. If you look at your resume and pretend you're the person that has to pick someone out for this job, does your resume really speak to you being
Uh-huh.
qualified? Okay.
Yeah.
So Mez, Foster, I'd love you to jump in and share a little bit about your thoughts on that and tips and treasures you might have.
Okay. Mez, you want to go first or you want to get me going?
Absolutely. Now I'll go get going right now, right here. So I went through the job search. I was laid off.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, right here, right now. But when I got laid off, I had the same company for 10 years.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
that
Yeah.
was,
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. I had a cursive script resume from college. So I didn't know which way was up, but what I can say is I knew certain key points, and I want everybody to listen to this and hear me when I say I knew I wanted to be in Texas. I knew I was not able to travel because I had children. I
Okay.
knew I was qualified to either be in the engineering fields or the IT fields. So that was very simple. Those 3 things narrowed my job search down significantly. And I was able to not manufacture, sounds terrible, but tailor my resume to engineering and IT ops.
Okay.
That was it. I had those 2 resume and project management, excuse me. So I was able to have 3 different flavors and I knew what I was going to do. From there, I then went to, okay, what companies are around in the area that I lived in? What would be a good commuting time? Because we were still in person at that point, and just move from there. If you can narrow those 3 things down, or let's say you're a little older, your kids are out of the house. Oh, I can travel. That'd be fun. Do something a little different, but make sure you know the target industries minimum, whether or not you're able to move. And
Minimum.
then that's bare bones minimum. And you can always build up on that. Go ahead, Foster. I'll be quiet now.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That's a good
No, it's
start.
good
You guys,
advice.
you got to start, and then you'll tailor it down as you go. But I'm gonna tell you guys something that I see every day. I talk to you job seekers. What's going on, Foster? You know somebody in this company? Introduce me to this Dana lady. And so you know what? The fear of not having a job, guys, makes us apply for a lot of things. When we're applying for it, we know those people don't want to talk to us about that job because we do not have the experience. In our brains, we think we match because we know how to spell the word or whatever it is. But you know, one thing I can tell you guys: do not let fear judge your application for opportunities. Now we
Ooh,
now we
amen.
now we've got a job. We got a job posting for a reason. In those job postings, we let you know exactly what we're looking for. Now, if you have that experience, absolutely go. We had Nikki Duncan on the HR call on Wednesday, and she said, let recruiters, let hiring managers know, okay, I've been in this arena. I know you're looking for this. I've done this at maybe two or three different companies. Because if you did, and if you're not even in the industry, you might have some new ways of doing things that if they hire you, you know, you might bring to the company. You might bring some new innovations to the company and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Now that is going to help a recruiter. Remember, don't fuss at us recruiters. We are the ones that pass you on to the hiring manager, makes the decision who he wants to see, and he makes his decision of who he wants to hire after that recruiting and that interview process and all that stuff is done. So guys, go easy on us recruiters. Now, here's what we recruiters have to do. You know what? If Dana is the hiring manager, if Foster is a recruiter, and Dana puts a job posting out there, and I send Dana a bunch of resumes that are not even a fit for what she's looking for, what's she gonna do to me? What y'all think? Dana, what do you
Definitely lose confidence in your ability to find the kind of candidates I need.
There
So,
it is.
yeah.
And that's
So,
part of our job, guys,
yeah.
is trying to maintain a good relationship with our hiring managers because we got to keep our job.
Yeah,
So I
exactly.
know you don't have a job. I know it may be a stretch for you to be considered for this job. The companies with all the technology and everything we got, guys, we don't have time for stretching no more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
understand what that recruiter is there for. Go ahead, Dana.
Well, I really like that Christine has brought up a couple good points. We're so glad Christine Matthews is here with us. So is Gerard Roble.
Yeah, hey,
Um,
Gerard.
we're just so happy y'all are here. And Christine brought up something that is important. So we're talking about the resumes. Mez brought up a very good point. Hey, I had 3 core areas that I was effective in. I made 3 resumes. Well, you do have to have your LinkedIn profile clean and up to date. The
Yes.
majority of recruiters and the majority of organizations use LinkedIn as one of their top platforms. So LinkedIn is like your online resume. Well, what do I do if I have 3 different types of resumes? Well, I'll answer that for you. Your job history is your job history. So you need to have that consistent. Regardless of what job you're applying to, you still want to put your jobs in the right chronological order. Where you're making the adjustments is in the skills section. And then some of the things that you're pointing out in each role under the bullet points that match what you put in the skills section. So your LinkedIn should have the correct chronological order so that it matches all 3 of your resumes because you're going to have the
Mhm.
same jobs on there. It's again your skills section and how you word your experience for the roles that impact what you're looking for
Yep.
that tie back into the
Agreed.
skill section on each individual resume that's different. Your LinkedIn should have the correct chronological order. It should have a couple bullet
Mhm.
points under each role on some of the core things you did. On your intro section, you can list out your skills, project management, and then put that. IT, da 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 da, like Mez said, and put some of those skills. Engineering, da 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 da, and then put some of those skills. I did that. I had like I wanted to put one section for the industries I've recruited in, another section for
Yep.
some of the software I've used. You can do that. And then they can still tie it down to your chronological order. So your
Mhm.
resume is for the immediate job. Your skills,
Right.
your LinkedIn should show just your the more of a robust rounder or Broader.
higher level.
Broader is not the right
Yeah,
word.
broader,
Yeah, higher
but
level,
you're
broader version of everything that you do, so that regardless of which resume you use, do not mess with the chronological order of your jobs.
no.
It is what it is, right? If you haven't done something for 5 years, don't put it at the top because it's going to look like you haven't worked in 5 years. You
Yeah.
put your
Correct.
most recent down. Now, if you were at a place for 6 months and it was just a really bad situation and you don't want to put it on your resume, fine. Don't put it on your LinkedIn either. Just keep it consistent. You don't. Nobody said you
Yeah.
had to list every job you've ever had on your resume. You're not
That's right.
breaking any compliance laws by
No.
or being dishonest, right?
Right.
It's okay. Just make sure it's consistent, right? If you put a job on your resume that's not on your LinkedIn, I have seen firsthand how it eliminates candidates. So
Oh,
just keep it
elimination.
consistent.
Good point.
Foster Mez, any thoughts on that?
There's one thing that you brought up that I have seen, I see all the time, and you've probably seen this, Dana. It does not sit well with Foster, and I'm pretty sure it definitely doesn't sit well with the hiring manager. A lot of times, you guys are applying for positions through the titles, and y'all haven't even
Oh,
checked
yeah.
you haven't
Yeah,
checked the
don't do that.
company out to understand what the company even does. So I want to call you
Mm.
in for an interview. I want to spend time with you, and you don't know what we do as a company. You think I'm going to hire you?
Yeah, just make sure you know what they do and you
Come on,
understand
son.
how you are involved in the company, what your role is for the company
Right.
before you go in and interview.
That, and I understand being without a job. I understand the pressures that we have with that. But guys, that's one of the things that I'm talking about, mistakes that we make because we're under pressure. I got to get a job. I can't face my wife when I get home. That kind of stuff. Do your due diligence. If you're going to apply for a job, you dadgum well better know what it is that you're applying for. What does the company do? They're looking for
Mhm.
someone to do this particular function. Then why are they doing that function? What are they applying that function to? You know what? I think if I was going to hire you, I think I need to know that, or I'd love and probably will have someone that has been in the very slot that can talk apples to apples with me for what I'm looking to do
Correct.
as a company.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Maz. I
Yeah.
don't want
What
to
are
talk
your
too much.
thoughts on that topic,
I
Mez?
I love it. So, to Dana and Foster, your points, I like the idea of a generic timeline on your LinkedIn. And what I did, just for everybody, tips out there, and you got part if you want, but I looked up the industries that I was applying for when I was looking for a job, and I put in the chronological order those generic job titles. So basically, I was a project manager in this industry, but I would be considered this in another industry. So listed in the chronological order.
Oh,
But that
okay.
I
it's
love
called something
that.
a little bit, yeah, so it's called something a little bit different. It's a different flavor, if you will, but it's the same role technically, right? Same level, same everything. So I put different titles that I would relate to the recruiters, that would be like a keyword they would search, but not necessarily what my company used at that time, but it's the same role. Does that make sense? So
Yes, no,
your
it does.
Total
resume,
sense. Yeah.
it
But keep
is your
your
resume should never be posted on like whatever like just your master resume. Don't post that on LinkedIn. You need to be more broad,
Mhm.
high level, and research the job titles and apply it when applicable. This is
Don't
a
apply
slippery
the
slope.
titles. Y'all read what they want. Read that job
Yes.
description. What are they trying to do? Have you done that before? Get in there. If you guys are applying for titles, y'all gonna be here next year looking for a job.
yeah. Mez, that was
Yep.
genius. I really appreciate you mentioning that. One thing I do want to say though is um when it does come to filling out an application for a company, do ensure that you have the title that you had, because when they do
Yes.
employment verification, you
Yeah.
don't want to get you don't want to be questioned or potentially lose the opportunity
Yeah.
because it could look dishonest if you put project manager but your role was actually something different. It's okay to put, like
Correct.
Mez said, here's the scope, I did project management, right? Mez was doing it in an ethical way that wouldn't eliminate her when they did her employment verification.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Correct.
Use their
Oh,
language.
absolutely.
If they call it a
Use
certain
their
thing,
language.
then that's what they're gonna look for, guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can put it in
Mm-hmm.
parentheses wherever.
Yeah.
And I totally agree with that. Yep.
Yeah. You know what I did? I put my
Oh, we'll be
title.
back.
Oh, okay. I'll
See
share
you
on the
guys in a
second half.
We'll
minute.
be back,
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, we'll pick up. Great combo. We'll be back.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the
Go get your
tax
food,
doctor
buddy.
right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. 800-240-4587. That's 800-240-4587.
Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Joco Community Radio. Listen live at tunein.com.
Love that intro.
Good morning, Jobfather Nation. Okay, we are on a great topic.
Oh, man.
Welcome back to the second half of the show. Real quick, I definitely wanted to just remind everybody we are honored to be a part of NTX Radio, a radio and podcast collective serving all of North Texas. You can listen on Apple CarPlay, any platform that allows you to either video or listen to radio or podcasts, including Alexa. And we are honored and glad to be a part of bringing the voice to North Texas. So thank you, Tiffany Hurd, for having us on the show.
Yeah.
And we were just wrapping up the first half with some suggestions. And I think, too, we can jump into something relevant and close to my heart, if that's okay, in a second, that I think we'd all be able to help share some really good advice on. But the last thing I was going to say before we went off the air was, or went to commercial, was that you can put what I did on my resume is I put my real title and then in parentheses or with a backslash, I put kind of what I actually did so that it wouldn't look like I'm being dishonest. Because let me say, I was a lead at one company, but I truly had manager responsibilities.
Right.
And they called me a manager. They just wouldn't officially give the title because that company was very different on how they handled titles. Every company is different. So, but Mez Foster, real quick, you know what? We forgot to pray on the first half. Let's bow our head real quick.
We're
Oh,
heathens.
oh my goodness. Yeah, let's get that done.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for blessing this trio to be on air to hopefully bless and help the job seeker community. Lord, I do pray as we go into this holiday season that first and foremost, we would keep our eyes focused on you, Jesus. And then we ask that you would open doors of opportunity for all these people, for your hand of provision to be on their lives, as well as them to have the opportunity to build fruit of the Spirit from this experience. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So, Foster, do you have a
Amen.
dad joke before we jump into the second half?
I got an easy dad joke because I told it once. I told it a few months ago, and you got it, believe it or not. And so I'm gonna throw it out there again. And if you remember what it is, then you hush your mouth and let everybody else figure it out.
Oh, okay.
So
Mhm.
okay, so guys, we all have heard about this thing about vampires and all that kind of stuff, and they're not out in the daytime, and and be careful at night. Look around where you're going because, okay, so what is a vampire's favorite kind of dog to buy?
Mm.
Oh, I know this one.
Mm. Mm.
I'm
I know
I'm I'm
it.
I'm I'm holding up. I'm gonna see if we get
I do
somebody in the
too.
In the
comment
comment
section.
section.
I think this one's easy to get. It's cute.
It is very cute.
Hey, Jeff Noggle, good to see you with us.
Hi, Sharon Adams.
Yeah, Sharon's with us. Absolutely, Christina Matthews. So, Jeff, we just asked a question. I just saw you pop in. We asked a question. What is a vampire's favorite type of dog to buy? And okay, here comes the drum roll. A bloodhound, right?
Absolutely.
That's fun.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sharon.
love
That's
it.
the right answer. That's right. And
Yes,
you
it
got it
is. It
out there
is. Good
before I
job,
even said it. I
Sharon.
know. She got it
$1
out there
million
before I even.
for Sharon. Just kidding.
So, guys,
Foster will
there's
send it over
another
to you today.
there's
No.
something else that I want you guys now what you job seekers do with this fact uh will either save you a lot of toil, take a
Yeah.
lot of stress off of you. But I've heard so many people say, "Oh, well, the company wants to talk to me, and I need practice interviewing." Don't you
Ooh.
guys know that people have been interviewing as long as Dana and I have can tell that you took an interview and you're not really interested in, believe me, if you're practicing an interview, you are not going to dig in and do the due diligence and find out what you need to find out about the company. You're just answering questions as best you can. Now, Dana and I can detect that, and we're not going to hire you. You're not going to be the one that we're going to hire. Of course, that's okay with you because you weren't really interested in the job at all. But it does kill your time and Dana and I's. So there you
Correct.
go.
Yeah. I think the misconception around interviews is worrying about answering everything correctly.
That's right.
Mm.
And I'll be honest, like in all the years that I've interviewed people, it's not as much, I mean, what they say is very important, but it's how they deliver.
Yep.
It's their ability to engage and think outside the box. And I'm also visioning this person as a part of the team.
Yep.
Would they be a good team player? Do they seem to have an open mind when we discuss things? Can I sense any chips on their shoulder? Is there any red flags? What are red flags? Let's talk about red flags.
Okay.
A little bit of an attitude,
Mm.
defensiveness, lack of preparedness. When they go like this, instead, you can sit quietly and say, "That's a good question. Give me just a second."
Yeah, not composure, just like a normal conversation. Is
You
this
know
person
what? I
human?
think that this would be, yeah,
Just
exactly.
composure.
Just how I sat quiet like that. You can sit quiet for a second and think.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's okay,
Yeah, that's okay.
right? That's why I did that. Was I was like, give me just a second. Let me think about this. There's nothing wrong confidently saying, okay, versus just spouting something out to beat around the bush and pretend like you know the answer. And you know what's impressive to me?
Mhm.
If someone truly doesn't know and they say, that's a great question. I'm not sure how to answer it, but I can give a little bit of information on this. And you come up with a solution, right? It's kind of the age-old trick to sales. You may not be able to answer every single question, but you can admit it and redirect in a very productive way. It's okay
Right.
to admit if you don't know something. Don't lie, don't beat around the bush. What are
Or
some other
ask.
red flags that you see?
Well, also to your point, Dana, is if you don't understand the question or you think I know where he's going with this, just ask like, "Hey, I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going down this path. Let me know if I'm going down the right path." Because you don't want to spend 5, 10 minutes saying an answer, and that's not what they were talking about at all.
Yeah. And be concise. Don't go
Yeah.
on and on. I made that
No.
mistake when I was interviewing. Even being here on the Jobfather, blessed to help other people. We make mistakes too. I learned from my mistakes. I got overly excited about wanting to prove I was qualified, and
Right.
I did not just let the person that's asking the questions ask the questions, but be conversational. It shouldn't be robotic.
Right.
Right.
There was an executive. I do a lot of executive recruiting. There was an executive that thought a lot of himself. And guys, if you think a lot of yourself and you think you're the best thing since sliced bread, it will come out and it will be detected when you're talking. So this fella was not a fit for the job. He thought he was, and he needed the job. But the thing about it was, I had a relationship with the hiring manager, and I know what the hiring manager is trying to hire, and the type of person that he was. If I'd have passed that guy on, it was hard for me not to say his name. If I'd have passed that guy on to my hiring manager, he probably would have come down and strangled me in my office. So we actually talked about it, and that job didn't go through. So I, of course, as a recruiter, got to call the guy and say, we're not moving forward with your, everything we're talking about for that position. Glad that you were interested in our position, but that's that position, you were not chosen to move forward in that position. He cussed me out. I mean, and then it wasn't good enough when I told him that. I think it was the next day he called me out and gave me part two of the cussing. so you so
Okay.
you know what
Now you
happened.
avoided a major red
You
flag
know
there.
what happened. We recruiters
Yeah.
have a
So
network, guys.
yeah, you never don't burn bridges. It's just not worth it. You don't want that out there. What other red flag? That's a fabulous one, Foster. What other red flags have you noticed in interviewing? Or, I mean, I'm sure Mez too has. You did the what was the name of that? The program where you go through the intense interviewing?
Oh, the pit crew.
Yeah, so
Practice the
Yeah, the
Mez
pit
pit
is like
crew.
an
crew.
Yeah.
expert at the pit crew
Uh-huh.
and learned a
Yep.
lot from that and whatnot. So between all of the learning and the actual conducting of interviews, what other red flags? I mean, that's a good one, Foster. Don't come in
That
with an
is.
attitude. If they don't choose you, they don't choose you. Move on.
There
Go see a counselor
there are
if
some
you
people
have to
that are
cuss someone
very
out.
there's some people that are very, very involved in social media. And when they get ticked off, they put a lot of that stuff out there on social media. This
Oh,
company is no good.
yeah.
Ugh.
This company, and in fact, they use the hiring manager's name on one that I saw last week.
Mm.
So guys,
And that's
Oh,
pretty
hell
extreme, but
yeah,
yeah.
no.
and
Woo!
that's pretty extreme. But you guys would be surprised what we recruiters face, because we're trying to keep our job. We build, if Dana's the hiring manager, I want to get along with Dana. I want to help her hire what she needs to hire.
Mhm.
Because then
Yeah.
when I get my evaluation, Dana's going to give me thumbs up.
Hmm. Yep.
I have a
I would say,
question.
yeah.
As a red flag goes, I saw this and I thought it was brilliant. Is it a red flag, as you two recruiters,
Hmm.
if a candidate sits in the interview with either you or the hiring manager or a panel and asks behavioral questions to the interviewer?
I like that.
I love it. That
Oh,
means they
really? Okay.
are a good communicator. Yeah. If someone
Oh.
knows what a behavioral focused question is,
Mhm.
they're going to be an outside the box thinker on the job more than likely.
Okay. I've heard both sides of this
That
coin,
shows
so I'm really curious.
Yeah, and it depends on how they ask it. It's more the
Fair.
topic. I think it's good because this is a man, you're awesome, Mez. That's why we keep her around. No, I'm kidding.
No, she's really got a high IQ. She really
Mez
does.
is
She
awesome.
don't act like
So
it, but
behave
I'm kidding.
Yeah, and some of you might be saying, what's a behavioral based? Well, when we interview people as recruiters and as hiring leaders, best practice is not to ask yes or no questions. Best practice is to ask behavioral based questions. Have you ever been in a situation where blah, blah, blah? And if so, how did you handle it? Or what are your thoughts on this? Open ended questions that allow the person to think and then communicate how they would have behaved, how they would have handled it, how they've done this in the past to determine if they'd be a good fit for the way things are done at that organization.
Uh-huh.
It's not that there's always a right or wrong answer. That's a behavioral question. And if someone can think in those terms, typically behavioral based interviewing is used to weed out red flags. So if a candidate is interviewing and asking behavioral based questions, it depends on how you go about it. Like if the candidate's coming across as if they have a chip on their shoulder
Uh-huh.
and they're an overly sensitive person worrying about feeling safe in every environment and they're asking questions like that, yeah, they're probably not going to get the job. But if they're asking questions when you are at your busiest time of the year and you have 3 different leaders come to you with a high priority project, how would you communicate and how would you prioritize? How do you communicate with the leaders? How would you prioritize with the leaders if you were in this role and seeing what what hiring leaders would have to say? It's basically testing their culture, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
how do people typically handle it? How do you handle it? If a team member is feeling overwhelmed as a leader, what do you recommend? And you're asking them questions to see how they would treat you while you're there
Exactly.
without coming out making it sound like you have a major chip on your shoulder. Then it's okay. But if you're coming across like you are an overly sensitive person that gets their feelings hurt on everything and you can't take direction without feeling offended and you're a very defensive person, so you're asking the questions from that standpoint, we're going to sniff that out.
No,
Don't do
not
it
my
then.
company.
So yeah, so I think it's a 2-step answer. I think it's great to understand what behavioral interviewing is, and it shows that that person is a researched person and an outside the box thinker. Not a bad
I
thing.
want to know what
How
I'm
they
getting.
ask and what they ask
I want to know what I'm
Fair.
could,
getting myself into. I might ask you some
yeah,
questions about how you act.
yeah,
Exact
but
well,
it's
that's the
how they
thing.
ask it and what they ask.
If
Yeah.
I ask you guys, hey, when was the last time, or can you please explain a situation where there was a problematic person on your team? Did you
Uh-huh.
do to handle it? And they ask the
That's a
recruiters
good
and
question.
hiring, yeah, they ask that question to us all the time. Would that be an appropriate question?
Yeah. I think so, because the way you worded it didn't sound like you were
It's like
trying
a
to
toxic
see.
environment. Yeah, like,
Right.
you a
The way
psycho.
you worded it was really well done. You know,
Okay.
you just I think if you know what red flags like coming across as we do. Okay, so I would say leaders and recruiters don't want to hire people that are overly sensitive and don't play well with others, that are negative and or don't receive feedback well, have chips on their
Uh,
shoulders, are temperamental and defensive. We try to avoid those qualities at all costs because it can cause so many dramatic dynamics on a team that prevent the team from actually doing their job. Typically, we want positive, collaborative people that are accountable, proactive, and think outside the box. Okay. So that is what we try to hire. It doesn't matter what background you come from. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your religious beliefs. If you're a team player, you treat people well, you're collaborative, you think outside the box, and you're proactive. You take accountability for your work. You ask questions. You seek to understand versus attacking.
There you go.
You're going to immediately put yourself up higher on the list as long as your skill set's also aligned with the job, right?
Foster, any thoughts?
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
well,
Sorry, not to
you
cut you off.
guys made me. I've got a couple of things. One, I'm looking up because I can't think of the guy's last name. Oh my goodness, I'm showing my age here. But guys, sometimes here's what happens. Uh, I'm working with a guy right now as a project manager, and he's a good one. And he has an extreme interest in a big old company. I'm not going to name the company, but he called and told me yesterday, Foster, there were 5 different positions that I applied for at that company. And so I want to hear what Dana thinks about that because the positions that he applied for, yes, he was in the one was definitely him. The other ones were close to what he does, but they were well beneath his level of experience. So Dana, what do you think when you see when you go into an ATS system and somebody's applied for all these jobs? Can you hear me? Oh,
Yeah, I'm thinking. That's a good question.
it is.
Mez, what is your thoughts? It's a good question, and it could have
It
different layers.
it does have different layers. Be worried with this particular situation that they would go, let's underpay him, let's tell him he has growth potential, quote unquote, and move him
Oh
up.
yeah.
That's what I would be worried about from the job seeker point of view. If you realize, and a lot of times as job seekers, you don't
Yeah.
realize some positions are above others. So that is a difficult situation. But I wouldn't throw a red flag on him right away. I think it would
Mm-mm.
be
I would.
you would well, 5 is excessive. Don't get me wrong. One
No,
company,
Yeah.
5 different positions. That's
some of these positions weren't anywhere close to his level.
okay. So no, that's a red flag. Definitely a red flag there.
Yeah, you definitely want to level the candidate and level the
Yeah.
pay competitive to the market. I would say that. I mean, as a candidate, we need to know our worth, but what we've got to understand is if I'm going to be interested in this job and this title, this is what the market considers fair comp, the range from someone without a lot of experience all the way to someone who's been doing this for a while. If I've been doing it, I should expect the higher end. If I haven't, I should expect the lower end. And then it's up to the company and the candidate to decide if that gap is doable enough and they want to be considered.
And we as
You
job
know,
seekers need to make that type of decision, guys.
And
agreed.
we
I
learn
do
by
That's a good
not,
question,
I
Foster.
am not
yeah.
a proponent of taking a job at $30,000 less salary than where you need to be.
Oh,
Oh, well,
heck
the
no.
company told me that I can possibly grow. You guys look
Yes.
at the dynamics of what's going on in corporate America right now. The time that it would take that person to grow into that, number one, if they would even be giving them the time to do that, that company might even be bought out, or maybe they don't even do that business by that amount of time. Guys,
Exactly.
I am not a proponent. I know I'm going to get it for this, but I'm not a proponent of these companies telling you that, oh, you're gonna grow. We want to hire you at $20,000 less salary than where you want to be because you've been there. And we're impressed with your background. And believe me, we'll get you there. No, you're not. Not in
Mm-mm.
today's time. And it's really got nothing to do of the company, but the environment, guys.
Correct.
Now,
Well, and that company just might not have the budget, so you have to
Right. Unless it's in writing.
determine.
If you have a job offer in writing,
now
like
that's
these
a
are
good
your
point.
steps, that's definitely different. It's like, okay, if I'm willing to take as a candidate a risk on your company taking $20,000, $30,000 less in compensation, I need a step by step, and even that's risky.
Yeah, you're not going to find a whole
So
lot of companies that be willing to do that, but
now to put it in
that is a
writing.
good idea. Mez, that was awesome thinking. You need to be a recruiter. Oh my God.
You need to be a
Yeah, it
lawyer at
really
this
is good
point. Like,
thinking. Yeah, really. No, I mean, that is good thinking. And I think we all have to kind of make decisions,
If the
right? And some
company's hiring you
companies might
right,
have
yeah.
a fast track to growth, and some may not. But we all have to kind of look at our personal situations and determine, like, where am I at in my career? Do I want all the stress of this type of a level? Well, if I don't, and I'd like to,
good.
I may have to take a step back and pay. Is that something I can afford? But keep in mind,
Right.
in Foster, I've seen this a lot. A lot of times, as talent acquisition or recruitment professionals, we don't want to over or under hire egregiously, because
Right.
if we under hire, well, we have to be realistic with what kind of training and what the expectations and learning curve is. And if we over hire, there's a higher probability that person is using us as a filler until they get a better paying job.
Did you just see what Christina Matthews said, guys? I took a job with a lesser pay, way less, with promises of giving me bonuses every 3 months. I lived up to my part of the agreement. They never lived up to theirs. They had excuses about canceling projects, and all of that sort of thing. Guys, times are different. I'm not pointing a bad finger at companies, but certain things, because of the way that things are in the world today, just it's not a good idea to do that. But I do agree with Maz, because I've seen people that have been hired in at less than where they need to do, with the intention of moving them up, and the company was my company. The company was willing to put it in writing. I am going to move this person eventually. We need this, but right now we need this done for our client. And then we fully intend to put John in. Oh, did I say that? in, into this position, because it's what he applied for to start with. So it rarely happens, but guys, that's something you want to have in writing. Believe me, you do. And
Mm-hmm.
the second thing that I was going to tell you guys a while ago before I run out of time, go to friscoconnect.org. Our next Frisco
Ooh.
Connect is going to be December the 2nd. We're going to have John Wright, who is an expert on leadership styles. Are we thinking about what we're getting ourselves into? Are there questions that we can ask to figure out where we're going, and what is this company all about? What kind of leadership does this company have? How does it operate? I have turned down 2 jobs. I'm not going to mention the companies. I've turned down 2 jobs because I knew that the leadership was not conducive to the way I do business.
Yeah. And I apologize, y'all. I cannot. I don't know what happened with my camera. So if I refresh, it'll kick me out. So y'all can hear me at least, right?
Yeah, we got you.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear
we
you. We
got
got
you.
the knife
As
hand
long
thing
as
going
you
on.
can hear me. If
Beautiful.
I refresh my screen, it's going to kick me out, and I don't want to
Yeah.
not be able to get back in. We're almost at the end of the show anyway. So,
Yep, we
but
are there.
yeah,
Christina Matthews, I appreciate you
Yeah,
sharing
that's
that, because
awesome.
I think I remember you and I talking about that.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and that was a case where they even stated in writing what their intentions were, and then things changed, and everybody changed their mind, and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
The
So,
little wiggle room that the
Christina,
companies have.
you and I are
yeah.
overdue to talk anyway. I'm going to give you a call, but thank you very
Absolutely.
much for that, guys. And
Mm-hmm.
another red flag, guys, coming in is that, well, Dana said it earlier, that attitude. If you think you fit something that you're not applying for, it will come out. It will come out in that talk, and it will kill you. The company will
Yeah.
move on, because as you're talking, Foster, Dana, Mez, whoever the recruiter is, whoever the hiring manager is, will be able to tell that you're not interested in this position that we're talking about. You're just trying to get a job.
Yep. And
It
the
is
thing is
true.
about
Yeah,
companies, yeah, thing is about companies that we have to be. I think companies need to have a wake up call. Is that they do need money. So, all right, sorry,
Yes, they
we're
do.
out of time.
Desperation happens on the corporate side as well, guys. We'll see
Yep.
you guys next Friday, and Dana's
Have a
camera
blessed
will be there
day.
again.
Here's important new information from the Diabetes Solution Center for you, a family member, or a loved one suffering with diabetes. If you have lost your provider, or if you need a provider for diabetes,